Well, I decided that since I had to take the core support off, remember all that body work that I said I didn't want to do? There it is. That was a pain in the butt. Took me a long time, but looks pretty good. No more holes. All down here, remember all those holes I was talking about the other day? They're all gone. This right here, I'm gonna probably add a little bit of body filler right there. Make all that nice and smooth. Those are a couple of, I don't know what they are. Mounting holes. Let's see if I got one on this side. Yeah, like this right here. Kind of sticks out a bit. But I'll probably just smooth that out a little bit with some body filler or something. But looking pretty good. I'm gonna go get the couple hours of sleep before I have to run to LKQ in the morning and get the core support. I'm also gonna pick up some moldings and some door handles and whatever else I can find. They just dropped that car on the 1st, so it's only a couple days old. Hope everybody's having a good night. I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, well, you can't see it on the headlight, but I noticed something weird on the core support when I was priming it the other day. The passenger side headlight, the headlight wasn't mounted in the correct position. They had run a couple of self-tappers in there. And then I got to looking and I noticed right around the core support where the crash bar mounts were, I eliminated those. I went with some nice boosted fabrication bumper hangers. But the big fiberglass crash mount that went all the way across was good. But behind it, the core support in this area was pushed in just a little bit. And I called the junkyard, LKQ, down in Rialto. They've got a GSX down there. And I said, how much is the core support? They said, well, it's $100. I said, well, that's a whole lot better than trying to finagle and mess with that. So today I came over to the car, removed the entire core support. Tomorrow I'm going to go remove the one down there in Rialto, California, and we're going to come back up and re-weld it to this car. That way I ain't got no worries. I already ran down there this morning. I looked at the car. The car is immaculate in the front end, but not so much in the rear end. It was a convertible. The convertible top got destroyed and it was literally just full of trash, but the core support, the radiator, all of the brackets and mounts and everything that's attached to the core support was in immaculate condition. No rust. It didn't even look like it was that old. I mean, it didn't look like it had ever been touched before, I should say. So I'm going to run down there tomorrow, first thing in the morning. I'm going to grab that core support and I'm going to come and mount it up on this one. I noticed that the bottom, see, I didn't notice it when I took this car apart because I didn't have nothing to reference it to. When I took off the bumper, everything looked like it was nice and aligned, nice and flat. But when I went to look at this car, the core support, actually the radiators, it's kind of moved, I wouldn't say forward, but it's more forward than back. Mine looked all nice and flat this way, but it's supposed to be flat this way. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and go down there and just replace the entire core support. Obviously, I don't have any rust here, which is a good thing. I cleaned up some of the primer and some of the paint, but I don't have any rust, so that's a shame that was pushed back because it was in really good condition. I mean, as far as the rust goes. So I got rid of that. I'm gonna put a new one in tomorrow, and then we're gonna try and mount the hood and the fenders and get everything all lined up. I wanted to do this before I started that because I didn't want to go ahead and do all that work and then have to cut everything off. That would have not been very, very good for me. So we're gonna keep on jamming on the car. I might do a little bit of guide coat on the doors or something, sand it all down. Here pretty soon I'm gonna go grab some dinner because I'm getting kind of hungry. But yeah, we're looking good. More last minute, unforeseen circumstances, but $100 and a couple hours work, I'll take it. Alright, so as you guys can see, I guide coated this and then blocked it out. I did go a little bit hard with the sandpaper. I kind of burned through in a couple of areas. It's not going to really matter because I'm going to go over and redo this anyway, reprimer it after I do some body work. So when you guys get to this point with the guide coat, guide coat's really awesome because as you can see, I can see all the low spots that I have to skim coat. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to mark them. You guys, this is very important. Use a pencil when you're doing this step. If you use, I see a lot of guys marking stuff with Sharpie. Sharpie's great. It's real easy to see. But the problem with that is that that's gonna bleed through your primer and your paint job. You're gonna be able to see that. So use a pencil, and I'm just gonna go a little bit over where my dark spot is. My dark spot's here. I want a little bit bigger of an area so that I know I cover it. That looks like a lot. I drew a whole bunch of little marks on this. It's actually not, because I'm marking any imperfections. So if I didn't sand it down enough, like right here, it doesn't look like it's high or low. It looks like it's porous. So I'm gonna hit, obviously, the dark ones. That's my low spots. I'll hit those with some skim coat, some body filler, real thin, just to bring them up a little bit. Obviously, they're not perfect, so I can see them real good. I'll go ahead and body fill that real quick. I'm not worried about down here too much. A piece of trim goes here, and then down here also the side skirt goes down here. So I'm probably not going to touch any of this because I don't want to fill all those holes, and just leave it, because my body kit and the side skirt kind of all flow. There's supposed to be a piece of trim here. But yeah, we'll knock this out and re-primer it. All right, everybody. Well, I went to the junkyard and I got a new core support. Mine was pushed in a little bit right here. This one's beautiful. It's dirty, but it's beautiful. So we're gonna use this one. I've already mocked up the headlights. The headlights fit right in the buckets perfectly. I went ahead and clamped it just to hold it on here. And now we're gonna get to welding. It kind of looks the same flatness as mine did. So I thought it was pulled out a little bit in the bottom, but everything's lining up, and it's nice and flat. So we're gonna go ahead and weld it in place, and we'll jump into a time lapse for that. It's on there. It ain't coming off. I guarantee that. Still got a wee bit on the inside. And wow. That looks way better than the last one. I mean, the welds are shit, but I grind them up, clean them up a little bit. I'm pretty jazzed about the whole thing. Like I said, welds look like crap right now, but a little bit of grinding, a little bit of filling, a little bit of grinding, they'll look perfect. I'm super jazzed. And yeah, I can't wait to sand all this down and get back to primer on it, because the last one, well, obviously I primered when I did the engine bay, but yeah, it's all badass. I like it. I'm gonna fill in a couple of extra little holes on the in the engine bay on the driver's side. I think there's, I don't know, half a dozen or so. Maybe 7 or 8, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna fill all those in, finish that up, so the engine bay will be completely shaved. Now I'm gonna go through with maybe a little skim coat or I don't know if I'm gonna do any body work in there. I mean, the metal, fill in the holes, make it all bad. I don't know if I'm gonna use any body filler in there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I take it all the way and just like completely smooth it out? That's a lot of work. Other than that, I'm pretty jazzed. Even though we're right back to where we were, I feel like this weekend was pretty productive. I got a nice core support now instead of a shot out one. I'm pretty jazzed about that. But I'm exhausted. This has been a huge drain this weekend. It's super hot. I'm super over it. I wanted to get this back in. I wanted to get the fenders lined up. I even went out and took an hour nap just to try and recuperate. Turned on the AC real nice, and I still can't recuperate. I am dragging today. Got up first thing this morning and went and took this off another car and put it on this one today, but I hit up one of my friends. I was like, man, I cut off the front of the car. She's like, you did what? I'm pretty jazzed. All right, well, I'm going to quit boring you guys with a bunch of talking. I'm going to stick around a little bit. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I got a lot of mess going on here. If I catch a second wind, I'll start grinding or something. I'm gonna try, and it's about that time now where it's cooling off. I might go grab another 12 pack of Pepsi and stay late again, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. As of right now, I'm tired. I want to go home and get a shower. But I also want to jam out on the car and get shit done.